Secret House Against, Mega Late Show, Tokyo-based hip-hop art and culture conversations. Today, man, this is going to be a real casual type of joint. For those of you that don't know from Secret House, I used to do a podcast here in Tokyo called The Mega Late Show. It is undoubtedly the dopest podcast about hip-hop culture that's ever come out of Tokyo. I'll take, you know what I mean? Like, I've always had really dope people, if I could pat myself on the back, and paid really close attention to the culture, and had just like people dope. Like Jet's been on the show. Sano I did another podcast with the legendary Brooklyn Terry. We never released our episode, but yeah, we back here today. And so it's just conversations about Tokyo, conversations with people and their art who are out here in Tokyo. It was always an in-studio podcast. That's why during COVID, I kind of let it lapse and went more towards Secret House. But today, you know, I've got Secret House member here. You guys know Jet. And we are rocking with, man, the legendary SanoIZM.
Yo, what's up?
Hey. Is it like SanoIZM? Is that like the full moniker now?
That's the full moniker, yeah. SanoIZM.
Is Sano like is that like the last name? Is that like the Japanese part?
No, it's actually just an acronym.
Oh, okay.
You know, sunny and nice outside, simple art, nice outlines, stealth assassin, ninja operation, styles always number one.
Hey, fucking love a graph writer, man.
I'm the only one here who doesn't have an acronym.
Hey, you know, yeah, like that was like the thing back in the day. But to get into it, like I think you know, graffiti culture is the one element of hip hop culture is kind of the most mysterious. It's the one that it's most difficult to really get your hands on unless you've been operating within those circles. And within those circles, you tend to find like people are super connected with other people, and it is an actual subculture of people, largely fucking criminals and derelicts and people. Graffiti is an illegal act first and foremost. Now street art is kind of elevated, but back in the day it was like, in order to be a graffiti artist, you were a vandal, like straight up and down. And Sano, I don't want to like age you or nothing like that, but it is incredible to me that you have been writing graffiti since I was born. I think we established that last time. I'm 40 years old. Sano is a legendary graph writer holding down for Cleveland for like 40 years, bro. Yeah. And the type of work that you've done, the people that are associated with you are some of the, you know, greatest artists of multiple generations. One of the big things that I like to tell people about you is that you are responsible for holding up the art on the Illmatic album drop, right? Is that accurate? With the Streetlight Publishing?
The Searchlight logo.
Searchlight, excuse me.
Yeah. Just the Searchlight logo.
The Searchlight logo that what you know they put out Illmatic. They were the
he was Nas's A&R person.
Right. MC Search. He designed that. And they didn't release the album because they were waiting on the art from this guy. Yeah. That's crazy. That's like a weird, you know what I mean? Like right there in history. This is an album that is largely considered like the bar for the 5 mic album. You've been doing it like, and that's the 90s. You had already been in the game for a decade.
Oh, yeah.
A full decade at that point. Right? That's crazy, bro. So you were like 12 years old when you started writing?
In 83, yeah.
83. Like, how did you get into it?
So, you know, like there was a dude in Cleveland named Ranger and Nomad. Those were like the first writers that I saw in Cleveland that were, apart from like the gang writing and tagging all over. Sure. Those were the first inspiration. And then I came to Japan in 83 with my mom. And I saw a piece on the Oda Q line that said, "Hip hop don't stop." And that's when I was like, I'm done, all in. I'm coming full throttle now.
That's crazy that, and you're a black and Japanese, you know, born in Cleveland, but also back and forth to Japan for the duration of your life. Your wife is Japanese. Yeah. Our wives actually know each other. Right. Which they knew each other before we had even met, actually. I think you met my wife at like freestyle session like 2012 or something like this, where B-Girl Annie was out and my wife was kind of helping escort her around doing the English work. Exactly. And your wife was friends with Annie's mother or something like that. Yeah. And you gave Annie like a really dope skateboard. Yep. I want one of those skateboards. I've got the picture. I hear it's on the screen right now. Sano back in the day. But my wife is a B-Girl, and that's how she knew B-Girl Annie, who was one of the more popular B girls out here in Japan, the more successful and well-known B girls out here in Japan. So that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, yeah.
All in. Can you imagine it, Jet?
All in.
Being
From the Odaku line.
yeah.
That line's underground now. You can't even see graffiti from the Odaku line. They buried that whole thing from Shinjuku to like Noborito.
Shout out to No Burrito. There's actually a really good burrito restaurant like one station away from No Burrito, and I kind of like that contradiction there. Yeah, but man, Sano, it's an absolute pleasure for me to have somebody of your caliber on the show. While most people don't know you like that, like you're just, I know if we go on and on, we'll be connected with so many other cats. Like you and we were out a couple weeks back at Yeska and La Mano Fria, who are graph writers and artists out here. They had a small just like get together event at I forget the name of the bar. It was in Harajuku though, right?
Yeah.
Harajuku. Anyways, I invited you to that too, but I think you're
the
busy.
joint on the second floor with like
It's a Mexican spot. Oh, Shimokitazawa.
That was the spot.
No, that was last weekend or 2 weekends
No,
ago.
the one that Yeska and all of us met at.
Okay, yeah. Is that
Shimokitazawa.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, you shit. I'll be out here. He only visiting and shit.
Shouts out to
But
Shimokitazawa.
yeah, we were out and we were with 6'2", who is a legendary producer artist in the underground hip hop community. And I was talking with y'all and I was like, yo, this is Sano. And then I was like, Sano, this is 6'2". And I was just happy to have two giants of the culture, or kind of like not championed like that, meet each other. And you guys were talking. It's like, oh yeah, oh you know him? Oh yeah, I know him too. And it was just like, to me, it was just like, hip hop culture. I love that. I fucking love that.
Right
But yeah, man, I have the utmost respect for you. Yeska, who's a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show, was like, yeah, I fucking heard of Sano for years. Yeska himself has been putting it down for over 20 years. A lot of people are familiar with his work too. And so I do want to kind of like champion graffiti in a way, because to me, I'm one of those. I'm 40 years old, which makes me an old head technically to a lot of kids, but I'm not like an OG pioneer of that. I came kind of at the tail end of four element hip hop culture, where these things were largely tied together. You go to the event, B-boys are here, that guy might have rapped, there's your DJ homie, your graph writer homie did the mural and shit, and it was all connected. And I feel like I'm kind of the last tail end of that kind of cohesive aspect of hip hop culture before things began to get commodified. And back in the day, like when I started writing graffiti, and I never really elevated out of toy status like that, but it was like you weren't supposed to get into a gallery. You weren't supposed to buy your paint cans. You were supposed to rack your paint cans. Like some of the first crimes that I did was like racking to write graffiti and to, like vandalizing. Those were crimes that were, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's changed so much since then. Like, what are your thoughts on graffiti culture as it is now? Because you're one of you're right up there with like your scenes and your copes, who have been around since almost the genesis and have seen it transform from like explicitly illegal to almost commodified to transitioning into like mural street art that is seen as like high art. How do you feel about the state of graffiti now?
My goodness. Well, like,
is that too deep of a question?
Well, we have to differentiate.
Okay.
Well, first off, I like to say non-permission rather than illegal.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Terminology, I guess. But, and then there's like style writing over graffiti or whatnot. I mean, graffiti is a really general term. I'm real partial to like cats like Phase 2, who was kind of like anti the G word or whatnot. But
sure.
I think that's the tie-in for style writing into hip hop.
Okay.
Because not all graffiti is hip hop per se.
Sure. Very punk as well too. Yeah.
All influenced. And then by the time we get to like street art, this is a whole nother. I would almost say like this is a marketing term that's even broader, and it includes other types of artists and stuff, and that's cool. I like the style writer angle. That's what I kind of adhere to. Aerosol artists, urban art. So I do letters, I do characters, I do portraits. And how do you say, like, I've man, I've done all kinds of stuff, man.
Right.
You know, walls, trains,
Shit for BET,
bridges,
things,
yeah, commercial projects and stuff, ad murals for groups out of Los Angeles and stuff. You know, so yeah, like kind of all over the place. So I'm not like against. I'm not so much against what do you call galleries or like museum shows or whatnot, but I am kind of sensitive to the marketing aspect of like, you know, like there's graffiti artists calling themselves graffiti artists that have never done anything non-permission, and then there's what do you call like street artists that are like ignoring you know, like graph writers or pioneers in aerosol arts and stuff that, you know, definitely preceded them. So you know, and then I don't know, there's a lot of overlap, gray area, of course.
Sure, there's like gang culture has a big foothold in certain types of street art, and those lineages often link together and combine in our thing too. It is one of, you know, just like any aspect of a subculture, there are different types of philosophical lines. Like I remember there was a big argument back when I was writing, like there were certain rules and ethics that people had, but like you mentioned with FaZe, rest in peace, with FaZe, he was very much like his philosophical through line might not be exactly parallel to the way that somebody like Lumit thinks, or somebody like like, you know, seeing things. Like there's different philosophical through lines, and I always find it so interesting, especially when you map the trajectory of this art form as it interacts with commerce. You know, like one of the reasons now that I think that a lot of the like the leniency of a lot of the old rules that were established by OGs have changed is because we had to allow for people to make money off of their artwork, and that allows you to do permission walls. You know, like it back in the day, it was like, I remember like we'd be like, yeah, piss on a permission wall, like fuck that, like. And this is just the philosophical aspect that I was picking up from the graph writers in my community, who like, as a toy, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to go against them because I'm not going to get my ass beat for like violating, you know what I mean? Like, and so that's really interesting. You've been able to make a lifestyle and a career off of your art. Was that something, I mean, obviously you're doing that in like the 80s, like in the 90s, like by selling a logo or whatever, like when did you first start getting into like making money off of your art?
Commerce. Actually, man, like high school, man, I was doing like doing like drawings on people's like backpacks and book bags. Got into doing the jean jackets, and I would do like names on pieces of paper, you know, and just style them out for like $5.
I used to get girls like that too. Like, hey, Jennifer, here go a little Jennifer for you. You know what I mean?
It was interesting because, of course, I was getting up around the city in Cleveland, and you know, like when I was sitting there like doing my thing in like whatever class, you know, people would look at me and be like, oh, who do you think you are? You think you Sano or somebody? And I'm like, actually, you know, I am. And no way, you know. So
all city know, already, like, right? Yeah, you know, damn. I was never that tight.
You know, but you know, I mean, we were, I hate to say, racking cans and doing that thing, and you know, painting up the city. I would paint at all these like different like bus stops, and you know, or along the rapid train line and stuff. So it was always interesting to me to hear like other folks like tripping out over my artwork, like yo, look at that, and then, you know, other people taking credit for my work. I did that, and I'm like, nah.
But you still got to keep it low because you can't be the one that gets caught for it, right? It's wild.
You know, there was something else I was going to mention too. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we get to it. You know, we just kind of spitball and shit like that.
Right.
Jet, like, how is your, like, one of the interesting things for me about hip hop, like graffiti culture, is that, you know, it's not something that really has like a fandom. There are like other music, other elements of like hip hop culture, or even some of the other cultures associated with graffiti. Like, there's gangbangers, there's, you know, their family members and people who are participating in it. With music, obviously, there's fandom. With breaking, there's kind of a fandom. There's people that appreciate dance that maybe have never done it, but usually if you're into breaking or hip hop style, you probably do it a little bit. With graffiti, there's like a chasm between like being a part of it and appreciating it. Now it's a little bit shorter because many people appreciate street murals and street art like that, but there's not really a fandom in that same way, would you say?
Well, I would say there is a kind of fandom to it, you know, but there's so many of the artists in obscurity, you know, so even for me, like, you know, like I would go back to Cleveland. I remember, you know, folks coming up to me like, you know, how come you're not in the graffiti magazines? As I'm looking through graffiti magazines and I turn the page and I'm like, oh, there I am right there. You know, like, you know, a surprise. I mean, I didn't know, but you know, like it just depends. And that particular piece I remember was something that I did in Santa Fe, and and then it just pops up in this magazine, and you know, and it's amongst, you know, a couple heads.
That's true.
As we're looking at it, and this is, I mean, you know, as how do you say, the internet and like artcrimes.com. You know, as they were exploding and stuff.
Yeah, that was some early 2000s type of. I remember the black books, like on Art Crimes and everything. Yeah. You were on Art Crimes? Yeah. I definitely saw you back then.
Probably, you know, like...
You go to the Cleveland little section, there's probably, you know what I mean?
Oh, you know, actually, that's what I was going to say, that recently I was just in Cleveland, last month, October, and my friend J. Cole just released this documentary called Legends of the Land, and he did a showing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it's a documentary on Cleveland hip hop legends. So I make a cameo appearance in there. So, you know, like, again, going back to like the fandom and stuff, like after we walked out of the theater there were people coming up to me like, I knew you, but I didn't know you did graffiti. You know, so and like so many people there was saying this kind of thing to me, and I'm like, now you can put the face to the artwork and whatnot. Okay. You know, one time I was leaving Cleveland and there was a TSA agent as I'm putting my stuff through the security check, and the guy was just like, "Are you Sano?" And I'm like, talking to me. And he's like, I know you from the graffiti events and stuff.
Oh, word.
Hip hop events, and I'm like, he was just like, man, just keep going, you know. And I'm like, oh, word, okay,
tight.
You know, so.
It must be kind of, I guess, frustrating, but at the same time, maybe kind of, I mean, certainly an interesting feeling to have to balance the idea of like, oh, you're receiving recognition, but at the same time, like, I don't want to tell you who I am, right?
Well, I guess interesting enough, like I left Cleveland in 2002,
right?
Moved to LA, and like so right before that time, like I was doing like interviews with like local magazines, local newspapers. You know, I would try to interface with folks and like get out in the public to kind of like push this idea that, you know, like I'm not necessarily doing vandalism, but I'm trying to beautify the neighborhood was what I was trying to get across.
Word.
You know, like I'm from like East Cleveland and Lee Harvard area, so these are like, you know, two hoods in Cleveland. East Cleveland is just kind of, I mean, it's pretty much of a shell of what it used to be. I remember it was like a, you know, a nice middle class black neighborhood. Before then, it was Rockefeller's estate. Okay, and you know, it's definitely had its history, and it's in shambles now. You know, it's literally like my old childhood home was recently torn down a few years ago. So I mean, it doesn't exist, and like, you know, it kind of trips me out. Like parts of history gets erased. You know, that I'm part of. You know, but yeah, you know, like I get a lot of love from Cleveland, and you know, I love, you know, like I got crew and fam there, so you know, it's always nice to go back and visit and, you know, do my thing there. I got to paint there, you know, last month, kind of celebrating my 40 years.
Congratulations, man.
Right,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Incredible.
Right.
To have that much passion for something and then just follow through with it. Like my man was just on the train and was like, I'm all in. I wish I had anything in my life that I was that serious about. You know what I mean? That's incredible, man.
Do you remember where you said you were on the Odaku line? Do you remember where you were?
Well, I have family in Honetsugi.
Okay.
So
yeah. So
I was just coming into Tokyo from there, so somewhere in between there.
Like Kawasaki, like down that side of things?
Somewhere there, yeah.
Did you ever...
I think more in between, but...
Yeah.
Was that?
Did you ever like live out here and spend a lot of time out here?
No, I've just been back and forth. Like 83, 87, 2001. And then from like 2005, then it became more like 2006, 7, 8. You know,
Okay.
more frequent.
Did you meet
since
your
then.
wife? Your wife is Japanese, yeah?
Yeah, she's from out here.
I've not met her. I think I met her once at like a speakeasy event, but I didn't know that it was your wife. And she was
Gotcha.
just like, "This is my friend Emiko."
Okay.
And okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she's Japanese.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's from out here, but we met in L.A.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
Oh, that's ill.
Yeah, and it was actually when we met, she was a few months out from moving to the East Coast, so we were friends for years.
Okay.
Let me see, 2006 and 7, I was actually in Detroit for some time doing I helped create a spray paint brand called Plutonium G. So I was out there during that time, and then she was performing for a group called Ill Style and Peace Productions, which is like an Ohio and Philly crew. The Ill Style part is from like Akron, and those are my dudes: Forrest Gump, Dre Live, Bobby Blaze, and
Shout out.
effects, beat effects, so beatboxer and stuff. So Dome, yeah. So so it was just like, oh, she got an Ill Style Peace Production. I'm like, some of my dudes,
Right,
like,
right.
like, what you doing?
She might be kind of ill.
Oh,
Yeah,
she is ill.
yeah.
She is ill.
Well, I'm saying that's probably what you was thinking. And
Right,
shit.
yeah.
That's how I met Chi. I was just like, oh, you should be breaking and shit. And I was like, I'm a hip hop person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't expect to be like, I didn't make any plans in my life to be like, yeah, you know who I'm gonna marry? Like a hip hop woman, since I'm a hip hop like human.
What?
But it just worked out that way.
Right.
It's dope. Like I was surprised. Like, who was it? Terry hit me up. He's like, yo, you want to like do an episode with Sano? I was like, oh, that's dope. And I told my wife, I was like, yeah, fucking Sano's out here and shit. And she's like, oh, I know Sano. I know his wife. And I was like, oh, shit, that's tight. And then I was like, I hit up my homie Paulie Rhyme. Cause you from Cleveland. I was like, yo, you know Sano and shit. And Paulie was like, yo, he just left my house the other day. Paulie got that like real nice guy voice and shit. Unless he nice. And shout out to Paulie Rhymes. He's like, yeah, he just left my house. And I was like, I love it, man.
Paulie and
it's
Lotto.
so close. Like that. I always say it's like hip hop culture would be closer than that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon shit. Or as I look at a sticker that you gave me recently, right? This sticker right here. You said this is your homeboy who was doing the work for like the Goody Mob cover. Is that right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's Mr. Soul right
Yeah.
there. Visual Soul.
Okay.
Mr. Soul. He just did the Goody Mob cover. He did UGK logo, Dungeon Family logo, Pimp C cover for his book.
And you say he's like
Prince,
he's
yeah.
like one of the people that came up under you
I've known
in
this
your
dude
tutelage.
since high school. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
tight. Yeah, Goody Mob covers. That's amazing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got a bunch of your stickers here from the last time we was out together.
Right on.
Yeah. This is not you. This is Keen, but
Keen, big
yeah,
up
man.
Keen.
I oftentimes I want to get into like the deeper specifics about graffiti culture and stuff like that, but I'm also kind of an outsider. Like, throughout my entire life, I've done virtually everything there is to do in like hip hop culture, even writing graffiti, and I was never particularly dope at it, but I was trying to get up and follow the ethics, and I still got my hand style, my handwriting still goes a certain way, but I just love to get up with graph writers, especially I love to be around graph writers when they're convening with each other, because it's just like you feel like there's some type of underworld that you're just not privy to. It's like listening to two mafia guys talk. It's like, yeah, man, like you guys buried that dude where? And like I just there's so many graph artists that like have influenced me in my life. Like I was talking about fandom earlier and how there's not like that much fandom, but I used to get like graffiti magazines, and I was even like doing a pen pal thing. Not like, pen pal makes it seem like we were like, oh yeah, by the way, friend. But we were just sending shit back to each other, like little piece books to each other. Some graph artists in Brisbane, in Australia, and I found them through like, I think it was called like, do you remember Hype magazine?
Yeah.
Hype magazine. Like there used to be like Graph Hotism magazine that used to have
Graphitism, yeah.
and Life Sucks Die magazine used to have a bunch of graffiti shit in it too. Like there used to be like some really, there used to be some really dope shit out here. Like I went to this little graffiti bar that's in Tokyo that was in like Ginza, and I call it a graffiti bar because you go in there and all of the books are like graph books. They're like old graph magazine. There's like books from fucking
Stacks, is it?
I don't remember the name. I went there after an Anthony Lister event. And I'm not trying to give props to Anthony Lister because apparently he's done some deplorable things, but I used to know his street art. I don't know if you've seen Lister. I think he's Australian, but he's a graph artist, a street artist that does graffiti as well. And the homie, do you know Tokyo was here? I Am Jesse.
I'm not hip.
Okay, I Am Jesse brought like Cope out here, and he does some gallery events and some music events. He's an old New York kid, right? But he's like I met them through that, and it'd be graffiti. Yeah, it'd be graffiti shit.
I had put together an event called City Expressions in Cleveland, and the first year I was involved with coordinating it, and I had I had Create, Lady K, Fever, and from Toronto, and this guy C's from New York, who was working at C's Scenes tattoo shop. The second year, they had some other writers invite Cope out, and some other guys from New York, from the West Coast. I can't even remember the guys' names, but yeah, I met Cope in Cleveland.
Okay.
Through that event. In '99, I was an advisor for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame hip hop conference.
Oh wow!
And in that event, I was able to bring in like my list of writers and stuff. So we had like Phase 2, Case 2, Lady Pink, Ernie, Days, Skill, Mir, Create, and Chaz Bordequez, and Dream from Oakland.
Wow.
Right before he passed.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember KRS came out and brought Case 2 on stage, and he said, "If you don't know this man, you don't know hip hop." And it was just like,
that used to be the case. Like now, like you make a statement like that and nobody cares, like except for the people that know. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to define it by that. Like, cause even like Lady Pink, she's got like, I've got a Supreme shirt with her on it.
Dope.
And like nobody's been like, yo, dope Lady Pink shirt.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right
nobody, and it's hard to point at like a 20-something-year-old and be like, yo, you don't know who fucking Scene, Cope, any of these people is?
I feel like nobody in Japan like acknowledges that shit though. Like just generally, like if you're wearing like a shirt or some kind of cultural signifier, even if people recognize it, like people don't want to, especially if you're a foreigner walking around, people don't want to like openly acknowledge it.
Right on.
Like,
True that.
I've definitely walked past numerous Japanese people that know this shirt,
And nobody's like, yo.
and nobody's like, "Yo, Zazen
Zazen
Boys." Like,
Boys.
it's not gonna come up.
It'd also be like, I pointed to this poster earlier, but that guy Shin Shimokawa, he's with Death Comic Crew. That's fucking Ramel Z. You know what I mean? Like he's just like in the crew, and I was just like, I Am just was like, yo, this is Shin, and I was like, oh, nice to meet you. And I was like, well, what do you do? And he's like, oh yeah, I used to make music, and he's like, I Am just like, he's in Death Comic Crew, bro. And I was like, fucking, I want to be Ramel Z. Like, you know what I mean? Like, amazing. That's one of the ill things about like Tokyo for me. Like, I've never lived, I lived in like San Francisco, and I used to come across like everybody was an artist, everybody was doing something ill and doing something dope. But with Tokyo, the level of people that I come across sometimes that are just kicking it, it's just like, yo,
oh yeah,
like,
all the time.
What is going on out here? That's like, are you serious? Like when I first met Brooklyn Terry, I was just like, okay. I mean, I know Compton Terrys, I know all types of Terrys. I was like, okay, you're a Brooklyn Terry. Like, wait a minute, like who? Hold on. You're a pioneer, and and he's just like chilling and shit, like taking the train with me, you know what I mean, like fucking outside with me drinking a street drink, and it's just like he's one of the most influential people in culture, mass culture. And it's like that's how I feel about you too. It's like you're like a legendary graph guy that people, I get, you're about to hit the bingo card. I'm a grand mega flowers on that shit. Anytime somebody is like super dope, I can't be around other people and just let them not know.
Right on.
That's why I was like, yo, 6'2". That's Sano. And then I was like, yo, Sano, that's 6'2". And here I am championing all of the like dope things that they've been doing, because I just feel like it's understated how kind of influential and how these little things ripple out. Like when you gave me this, I was like, the UGK logo, bro? Like everybody knows that knows that. And it's like, it's one of those things you also don't think about. The graffiti guys are even further in the back than the producers. The artists they're even further back. And so I love some graffiti shit. I wish I wasn't such a toy. And I wish like now I hear, you know, like graffiti in Tokyo. Some of my graph friends, like even Remixer, this is his shirt, they're like, yeah, Tokyo is not a graph city to me. It's just not worth it to try to go up and get up illegally, because the consequences are too dire, and it's just like difficult to get up out here in any kind of reasonable like way that is not going to get you deported or caught immediately. Like Tokyo is specifically bad for that. They say like Osaka's better, other places in Japan are better, but out here it's like, nah. Do you still get up? You're very forward facing with your profiles and stuff. Like your face is out. When I have Yeska on the pod, he's like, blur me out. You know what I mean? Like unless I'm having him on for like his other art stuff that uses his real name, he's like, blur me out. But you're very forward facing. Do you do any non-permission stuff anymore?
Yeah. You know,
you don't have to tell yourself. It's fine.
You know,
the only people watching this are heads. It's like the FBI don't give a shit about this one. Yeah.
No, I still get up here and there. You know, definitely not as like, let's say, much as I used to. But you know, like here and there, I still get up. You know, I still catch a tag here and there. You know, slapping stickers here and there and all that stuff. But
slaps seem a lot safer.
It's just a lot faster, you know. You know, now, you know, it's like, yeah, the focus is, you know, like I have a family, so it's like, you know, so yeah, the focus is shifting. But, you know, I say the urge to kill is still there, you know. You know, like,
especially when you see some other people killing, you like,
oh yeah,
come on, man, I need it.
You know, dope tags and stuff is like, oh, okay, yeah, I gotta go catch some tags here.
That's what I used to like about it. It's just like running around and getting up.
Yeah, but it's not like, you know, for me, it's not like I'm going out like I used to and was like, you know, every weekend. It's not every weekend, you know, it's every once in a while. But, you know, it's still there, you know, Can Control is still there. You know, and again, the shift in the focus is more like, yeah, well, I want to do, you know, gallery shows. I want to, you know, figure out how to get into museums, because I see so many other people doing it, and I'm like, you know, okay, you know. And when I see these shows going on and people telling the history in a certain way, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever.
Word.
Yeah, I need to be in these how do you say it? In
spaces,
these arenas, and I need to also tell, you know, the story from how I've seen it, you know, because again, like, yeah, there's street art, but I'm like, street art's not giving it up to cats like Phase 2, and I mean, T Kid just passed, you know, not T Kid, Tracy 168. Sorry about that.
Man.
I was thinking about it. But yeah, Tracy 168 just passed, and like, he's like one of the inventors of Wild Style. Like, come on, man, like. You know,
was he one of the Crazy Kings? Is he Crazy Kings? I don't remember, but legend, New York legend. Yeah, legend. I didn't know he passed. I didn't hear that. See, I remember when FaZe passed, it was just like, how come this isn't everywhere? Like, this is one of the most like culturally important people in the history of the biggest selling genre in the world. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't everybody talking about this? Yeah. And you know, the only people that were talking about it, we were going to try to put together an event out here, because one of his good homegirls is a homegirl of mine, Kathy, and we were going to try to put together an event to raise awareness for ALS, which is the disease that he had was suffering from, and like I was like, why isn't everybody doing that? You know, like, this is FaZe. Like, have you like? It's just it's unbelievable to me.
You know, because everybody's looking at, street artists and stuff, and it's like, again, there's a savage disconnect with proper writers, at that point. And I think street art is largely a marketing term, and it's not like really connected to the culture, and that's why people really like people that are really absorbed into that are really missing the point of the writing and the writers and stuff. So
like one of the larger events is, what is it, Powwow? Is that one of the larger street art events? I know they have like events out here. They'll do huge murals and have a variety of different like multidiscipline type of artists doing these type of things. Like I don't know anything about it, but I'm surprised. Like it's like a huge thing that like Hawaii, they go all over the place.
Right. I think they just changed their name to like Walls or something like that. I'm not,
maybe Powwow was a little bit culturally insensitive to the indigenous
I think
brothers and sisters,
giving them the heat.
Yeah, you know how I do. But
I mean, I've been trying to link up with those folks. I've been out in Hawaii a few times, and it's like I just keep missing these folks. I mean, I don't know. I know they do a Japan edition as well.
Some really dope works too. There was like a 5-story Honda that was super dope, and they were just like, bye bye. I was like, why? It beautifies the city. Right. Like it makes this dull, gloomy place so much better.
Remember there was the wall in Yokohama. Minato Mirai.
Yeah, Minato Mirai. Yeah.
So it was like, I remember I got to see that before that got buffed out. Yeah. And I took a whole bunch of pictures of that. So
yeah, that was like one of the legendary spots, like the dope spots that have your art up out here.
Yeah.
I really thought I was going to see more graffiti when I came out here to Tokyo, like just because I was like, it's a fucking super big city. Like, why wouldn't there be? There's some cats out here that I don't think that they're like particularly talented in their hand style or anything. Like, I'm speaking about Tech.
Yeah.
You see Tech up, right?
I see Tech up, though.
Tech is fucking he's all fucking he's all city in like one of the biggest cities, right? Like I'm talking about, I'll be in fucking Musashi Sakai, like a mile away from the station, and there's like a fucking Tech, and there's a Tech, and it's just like, this guy is up. He has like a full like bubble letter piece across on the scramble. Across from the fucking Koban on the scramble. While I don't think he's the most talented writer, he is fucking up.
Hey, that's
like,
what it's about.
I have so much adoration for him.
Right on.
Like I don't even judge it like, oh yeah, his hand style's kind of whack. I'm just like, this fool is up. He knows MC Buddha. MC Buddha's really dope. MC Buddha has like a tech piece on his refrigerator, or he used to when he was here in Tokyo. But I was like, I need to meet this guy because he is so inspirational for me. I be all over the place, Yokohama, working for my job, all over the place, and there's just like always some tech like around. That dude is up.
Tech and Very.
Yeah, oh yeah, Very One.
Yeah,
but Very One is he's Osaka, I think.
Okay,
I think he's an Osaka cat. And Very Yeska was telling me that Very like introduced like graph writing to some part of maybe like Indonesia. Like he went out there, he brought a bunch of cans, he brought a bunch of caps, he like tried teaching them like the basics of throw ups and shit. And now there's like a thriving graffiti scene somewhere in Indonesia that Very One was very responsible for. Yeah, but Very's up.
What's up with Cress?
I don't fucking know. Like there's a couple cats out here, like another character artist, Krusty. He does that weird kind of like, it looks like a fucking like a monster. Krusty is out here. He gets up. I first saw him in Okinawa, like all these Krusty pieces. And there's a few cats out here, like a 24K crew. I don't know who that is or if it's one person, but there's never like this person with 24K. It's just 24K. Yeah. I think it's a crew.
I just met a guy named Sao. SOW. He's from Osaka, but stays in Hiroshima. I know Suiko. You see that guy?
Okay.
Suiko's dope. I think he's in Germany right now.
Okay. Yeska tells me that like outside of like Tokyo Major, like Yokohama and Saitama and other places, they tend to have more writers who are, you'll see actual pieces of places because it's just Tokyo. It's too easy to get
too
this
visible, yeah.
CCTV. Like they've got the guys in my neighborhood that go around, they make notes of when stickers go up. Like I can see them, they're busy like that. I know like Kane. I met Kane out here before. He's dope, but he's also like Yokohama, you know. But yeah, I love some graph culture shit.
Right on.
Let me let's transition. So like Jet was nice enough to come and kick it with us, but I feel like we're not like we're just
I'm staying in my lane. I'm staying in my lane. Like
Yeah.
this is all new to me. This is educational to
Word.
me, so I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, let me see, like, what was your favorite era of graffiti writing for you, and also for like culturally, like what do you think was like the best?
I mean, the early half of the 80s. I mean, you know, when I got into it, 83, you know, I started looking at stuff because of the hip hop music and stuff. I'm looking at covers by Gnome, who's doing the Mantronics Just Ice covers. So that was like and seeing these characters and stuff and seeing the party scenes and like was just like, wow, man, like, you know, he was definitely really representing. And around the same time, I started to tune into Phase 2 and the Tight magazines, the International Get Hip Times.
International Get Hip Times.
Right.
I've only ever heard of that.
And even from there, like I would see work by Black Larat. You hip to that guy?
I've heard the name. I'm not familiar with
so he was the original stencil king.
He's the one that
for
Banksy ripped
Paris.
off. Yeah,
yeah.
He's a French dude put rats everywhere.
So
Okay, right.
so Black Larat. That was his trademark, you know. So you know, so it was like I was tuning into that kind of thing, and
He's like an art professor or something now.
probably
He's at like La Sorbonne or something.
Yeah, he's still around.
Legit. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, but like I say, early half of the 80s because of the b-boy styling in the work. I mean, Wild Style. I mean, big up all the train riders and stuff. I know Brim is in town.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I haven't met him, but I'm just, you know, like I see him on IG and I'm just like, man, I'd love to meet the dude. I mean, you know, like big up to all the train riders, subway train riders specifically. I mean, you know, like I've done freight trains. I've never done this, you know, subway or whatnot. I mean, I've tagged.
I'm a note line, bro. It's right here.
Right on. You know?
Yeah, if you trying to go to jail.
But you know, I'm just saying, like that was the pinnacle of the culture for sure. Street art is secondary to any of that. You know, I mean, full car burners, whole car top to bottom trains. I mean, there's so many dudes, man. Tats Crew, FC, all of them, IBM. You know, I just, you know, I just give it up to them dudes, man.
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, Wild Style, B-boy styling, the characters, even more so than the 3D and the portraits that would come. I mean, and that's why like my style is kind of classic in that sense, you know, because I really like the b-boy styling and the wild styling in that sense. The hand styles, man, out of Philly and New York. I mean, in LA too.
Yeah, I mean, this is really like of the lineage, like traditional b-boy,
right?
B-boy, character style, you know, like
So then it just carries on into the letters, and that's why like I do like the characters that are letters, you know, based on this style, you know, because it just all works, man. It just all makes the most sense to me. Can control, lettering styles, wild style, b-boy characters, b-boy, b-girl, you know, like that's all hip hop to me, you know.
There's this always will speak to me. If I see like a flyer for an event and it's got like the b-boy profile, put a bucket hat b-boy on there with his arms crossed and some Adidas shell toes, I'm at the event. Yeah, I'm at the event. I'm like, yeah, that just speaks to my sensibilities. Like there's a, you know, I come from b-boy culture. That's kind of like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's where I first came into it. And that's why I also felt like back in the day, like the b-boy stance wasn't just like the breaker stance. It was like how you're supposed to hold yourself if you're a hip hop head. Yeah. And as a b-boy, I, you know, use the explosive body gestures, but it also felt like I had to take the position of like an academic scholar to the culture to uphold hip hop culture. I had to know the DJs, the MCs. And back in the day, you were a fucking sucker if you didn't know crews in your area. Like if you were a hip hop head, you must at least know who's getting up. You don't have to know them personally, but you have to be like, yo, that's like when I was in San Jose, oh, fucking Lord's crew is getting up, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like Lord's crew is getting up. Like, and you knew other West Coast giants, you know, CBS, you knew, like, you at least had a cursory knowledge of it. And for a lot of us who were outside of that community, it was like, it was on some real like fandom, like, yo, bro, like, you see that piece that Hindu did? Like, oh my God. And it's like, you hear of people like Ty passing away. You hear like, you know, the legends, just like Jesus Christ, bro. Like these were giants that if you met them, it was like they were like glowing. The way that people used to feel in New York about like Terry and them. I saw an interview with when Mos Def did the interview on Talib Kweli's podcast during the pandemic. They're talking about like New York in the 80s and who were the giants back then. Who did they look to? And see, who did everybody look to as the giants? And they talk a little bit about the graph guys, but then they start talking about Elite Force Crew, Khalif, you know, Buddha Stretch, Brooklyn Terry. And it's just like, everybody looks to Mos Def as being like, wow, he's amazing. Kweli, he's amazing. And just, they don't realize that underneath that backbone, there's like a tremendous appreciation for people in the culture who are never championed. And I took a little video of it and sent it to Terry. It's like, I told you, bro, we got receipts. Like, people know us. And that's how I feel about graffiti. It's like, bro, if you don't know who Dream was, or, you know what I mean, Stay High, like, if you don't know these guys, then don't ever call yourself like a graph writer. You know what I mean? Like, don't you needed to have that. And man, let me see. I got some more questions. Let's do some little, like, do you, like, I know you're hip hop through and through. Do you listen to a lot of modern contemporary hip hop shit?
Ooh, we
should put them on to some shit.
I try to, yeah. You know, I like getting put on to new stuff, you know, because there's just so many outlets for everything now. It's
what were some of like your favorite like hip hop artists? Growing up in the 80s, I imagine you have a kind of rich adoration for a lot of the 80s type of work. Yeah. But also you're right there with Illmatic, so it's like, who are some of your favorites?
Like I said, man, I like Just Ice, Mantronics. I like Marley Marl and everybody, you know,
Marley
Juice
Marl was
Crew.
in here.
Right,
yeah,
right.
He was in here.
I've hung out with Marley.
Yeah.
Man, and yeah.
Both of y'all got that Japanese wife thing that bring y'all back here all the time. I think his family's like from Nagasaki.
Right on.
Yeah, but
yeah, I got the blaze with Marley in LA and New York. Got the personal Queensbridge tour. I mean, you know, and Marley. I mean, Roxanne Shante, Biz Markie, rest in peace. Big Daddy Kane. You know, I mean, all the classic stuff. Coogee Rap. What do you say?
I drank with Marley. I didn't smoke with him because this is Japan.
Yeah,
but that bottle of Bailey's is right there.
Yeah.
The reason I still got that is because that was Marley's.
Right.
We walked to the liquor store right there together, and he's like, "I'll take the Bailey's." And I was like, "Anything for you, Mr. Marley Marl. Anything for you."
You know
what?
I mean, of course, I like, you know, a lot of, I mean, just all kind of rappers and whatnot. But I've also been listening to like a lot of reggae, like dance hall music. So, like, you know,
you listen to that Eddie Murphy reggae album?
No.
Yeah, good. Don't do it. You straight.
But, you know, Shabba ranks to Vibes Cartel. You know, I mean, those are, you know, Idanya. I like that guy. I know there's newer cats, man, out like Iwata and Skilla Bing.
I don't know Skilla Bing, but I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's an ill name.
Yeah. I mean, talented dudes, man. Those are just some names off the top. I think I just got put on to this dude Kenny G from Japan, like Japanese.
I thought you were. I was like, yeah, I've heard Kenny G, bro.
Not that Kenny G.
Yeah, shout out to Kenny G though. He can fucking hold a note for an hour.
Yeah, there's this mixtape. This DJ. Tokyo, I don't know if he's Tokyo DJ, but definitely Japanese DJ that I tuned into. I picked up his tape in 2019, called Hiss Noise. And the first tape that I got of his has it's like there's some hip hop, or I should say there's traditional Japanese music mixed with hip hop, like Japanese underground hip hop. So like I try to find like stuff like this so that I can find these like more obscure rappers and stuff like that. I will say, like, of Japanese rappers that I can think of offhand, I think, what is it? These trap rappers, JP the Wavy. I like his flow, man.
Yeah, there's some of the homies, they make like drill and trap out here, and they're quite tight knit within the community, and there's like some really interesting, like I think it's getting doper actually. A lot of these like Japanese, especially the drill rapper trap artists, like they're starting to find their own voices, like to turn this Japanese into kind of, you know, a form or like a version of like drill shit. One of my biggest problems with it is, like, outside of it sounds aesthetically it's fine, it's just like, yo, like the worst neighborhoods out here are like not drill. Like it's not a drill neighborhood.
I got into it
with
with somebody years ago. It was this influencer, like now J-pop kind of singer, this girl Sunny Only One, who's doing very well for herself now, who I guess she went to school with JP the Wavy, or she was tight with him. And I was just like, yo, this guy seems like he went to private school. Like, I'm not convinced. Like, when he's talking about, you know, oh, Wavy, they go in there, he's got the girls twerking and shit. I'm like, are you really about that life? Like, is that where you're really from? But
you really got to kind of like let them just have it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, like, there's like a thing where it's always like, oh, my hood is the hardest. My hood is the hardest. But like, you know, when you grow up in like poverty, like some of these dudes probably did grow up in poverty. Maybe their dads wasn't around. Maybe it was a little difficul. Maybe they didn't have to like worry about like getting shot. I mean,
there's
stabbed,
a reason that there's more MCs from Kanagawa and Osaka than they're all from fucking Setagaya.
Sure, sure. Like the material conditions speak for themselves in a lot of ways. But I got to admit that while I listen to like trap and drill and a variety, like I was just like really playing Chief Keef a lot the other day. It's not necessarily my wheelhouse. I have been of the kind of underground weirdo rap avant-garde tradition for most of my life, because underground independent was kind of like emerging around the time. And in fact, a lot of the graffiti ethics that I have and some of the knowledge, the things that made me really get into it, were cats like Big Just, who, you know, Loon TNS, he's shouting out like all the graffiti artists, from like just hearing a song of him only talking about graffiti artists, and like it's just him shouting out all the giants of New York. It was like, wow, like I need to know these guys, I appreciate these guys, and you know, like I just stick to the more weird shit, I suppose.
The artifacts, man. Tame One, rest in peace.
Word, yeah. Shout out to I you know, El the Sensei has done my podcast before too, and El, like, you know, we talked a lot about that, you know, like graffiti culture. I think maybe off mic, but you know, those type of guys were, when you hear like you know, when you hear them talking about graffiti and just putting it in that perspective, it was just like, yeah, man, there's some real, like, this is real hip hop shit to me. Like I love that type of shit. Like, man, I don't know, I want to play him some shit, Jet, but what do you think is like on the level? Like Sketch, like, do you
Sketch
think
185 is obviously
it's pretty crazy?
I mean,
his name is Sketch 185, so it sounds like, you know, some graffiti
like
shit, but also like Sketch is pretty like transgressive and very kind of like.
It's funny though, because I was thinking of the
Danny Brown, the new
course,
Danny, yeah. We just recorded about that today. Did you hear that?
No, I haven't. My I got crew in Detroit, and it was real close with Danny.
Word.
Yeah.
I was thinking because of the Just Ice connection, the OG by JPEG Mafia, the of the LP joint.
Okay, yeah, that's actually good. That's a good call. Hold on. Here we go. That's right, guys. Here, first and foremost, we've got Old Head Graph Guy. Reaction video. JPEG Mafia. No, we don't do any of that fucking YouTube shit. Yeah, we've got. Yeah, but peep this. Tell me what you think about this, right? Here we go.
I gotta have it. It's not a habit. Feel like a bad bitch. I smack it up. It's a closed casket. This flow's mastered. I'm a whole has-been. I know it's tough. We're spitting off beat in my old spot. How you gonna tell me I ain't popping, baby? You're not. Finna take that praise back. Finna take the game back. And I'm still spitting in they mouth. I know you hate that. Better put that money down. Better slow that cash tree. Better make it work. Just like they've been working me. And when this album over, work for nobody for free. And when this album over, work for nobody but me.
Your eyes, pride, just a lick the street. Yes, but you are the hip hop gangster.
That fucking sample is just ill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you familiar with JPEG Mafia?
No.
He's interesting. He's really interesting. He's kind of an outsider artist, even in hip hop, who has a unique style and personality. He's a kind of an all-in-one producer, artist, kind of, you know, grassroots, creates all of his art. He doesn't have much of a team behind him poking him and telling him the type of music to make, but all of his music is, it's like you're not really going to find another song that sounds like OG from him. It's going to be like some other different sounding shit. Like here's one that whenever I play Hazard Duty Pay for people, they're like, yo, I'm gonna be a fan.
You think you know me?
I think this is like the Winans.
Yeah.
The Winans. What I really need to do and have in my life is this played extremely loud with people that know the lyrics and really enjoy this song, because I just want to like jump around and be an idiot with people. I don't get enough of that in my life.
What?
You know, there's not a lot of times where I'm able to like cut loose and really just, you know, if someone like shout, if somebody falls on the floor, like let them just get stumped. Like let them just go. Like I think JPEG Mafia is one of the more interesting artists to come out. It is definitely kind of an outlier. He's not much of a lyricist in the traditional form. It's more or less sculpting actual songs and
Yeah, I like that.
yeah. And a lot of the topics, like he's very transgressive in the sense that like he'll say some shit like "Shorty want dick," like yeah, like he's got an album called Black Ben Carson. Considering that Ben Carson is already black, like I kind of like that, you know, like he's really incredible.
He
artist.
calls himself the Black Everything.
Yeah, yeah.
The Black Alexander,
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
the Black
yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Yeah,
Black
he-
kind of so and so. Yeah.
He also just did an album with Danny Brown called "Scaring the Hoes."
Okay.
And that is also, you know, what a
Word.
title and shit,
Right on.
right? Like this Kingdom Hearts key. Yeah.
Japanese sample. It's,
Yeah.
Maya Sakamoto.
That's not Ryuichi Sakamoto's daughter, is it?
No, that's Miyu Sakamoto.
Ah.
Okay.
Shout out to you know, rest in peace, Ryuichi
Yeah.
Sakamoto. We've had like, if I could pat myself on the back for the Mega Late Show, we had Chris Mosdale on here, who Chris Mosdale used to do a lot of the writing for Ryuichi during the Yellow Magic orchestra stuff. Like I got his little signature up here at the top. He's a
Sick.
incredible poet artist. Also wrote a song for Michael Jackson's Thriller that was not on the album, but was released later in like the 30th anniversary or some shit like that.
Word.
But yeah. This is this Jet, like I'm kind of getting ahead here, but this is one of my favorite songs of the year, and
Okay.
the reason for it is the Danny Brown verse that comes up in just a minute. One of my favorite verses of the year. It's not deep, it's not dense, but it's Danny Brown being like, "Yo,
You got money, you still gotta think. One.
I know you got to get out of here soon. We'll get you out." Yeah,
worries.
no, you good?
Yeah, yeah.
Look on my hairline is cane. Left and the right is the same. You bitches shit for me like Danny Kane. People scared to put in work. You won't take an L, so you take a name. I'm playing up on the rim. I brought a gun to the game. I'm living life with no rules. You try to play foul, I'm shooting the tray. This year I triple my cars. I beat you with the pick what you say. I'm living life in a
Make what you do look easy. Niggas see me, they all get queasy. Is that what he says? Moving on up like George and Wheezy.
Make what you do look easy. See me, they all get queasy. Moving on up like George and Weezy. Take
This is a jam. And this other artist on here as well, Redville. He's a young cat, like maybe
Young
20,
cat,
21,
he's
22 years
mad
old.
dope.
One of those like produce, create, young, incredible artists, like a Nas.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, but his verse is really good too. You feeling this?
Yeah. Like that Danny Brown, man.
Yeah, Danny is amazing.
Yeah.
I really would like to go to a JPEG Mafia show, but every time I see the picture, there's like 3 token black dudes, and I'm just like, okay. Yeah, that's tight. I'll get in there with y'all.
They asked Danny Brown about that the other day in the concert. They were like,
Yeah.
are there any other, JPEG Mafia, Death Grips, like they're all known for having nerdy white people at the show.
Yeah.
Are there any nerdy white artists that have like a bunch of black people showing up at the show?
It's like Andrew Jackson Jihad, or it's like an Animal Collective. It's got like hella niggas at the show.
The top comments were like, James Blake and Bobby Caldwell, rest in peace.
Hey, I mean, shout out to Bobby. You know, people, one more, Sano, one more.
You think you know me?
Shit.
ODB.
Wet. Killer connect. Repo man when I gonna collect. Beat 'em like rhythm roulette. You niggas scared of the guard.
I've cleared out so many dance halls with this song.
Yeah, that's tight. You know what I mean? No, I like it's so dope, and at the end it gets into like these surf rock guitars that are fucking amazing. Like, yeah, but just to loop that old dirty bastard part is like kind of. Yeah, the music is quite live.
I was gonna say just I like DJ Assault too.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, some footwork stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Danny especially, has got some footwork shit. But no, let's do some questions like some rapid fire questions. These are more or less like the type of questions that I don't know, that you might hear on like a drink champs or something, because we're gonna ask you some versus type of questions and things of that nature. Let's see here. Let's start it off real easy. Jet, let's see. Biggie or Tupac?
Oh, Tupac.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas.
Kanye West or George W. Bush?
Kanye.
Kanye West or Barack Obama? Kanye. Who was your all-time favorite MC?
All-time favorite.
Well, help me ask some of these. Anything.
All right.
Any type of question.
There's so many. I'm trying to narrow it down. Hold on.
Wild Style from Crucial Conflict. Smoking on hay in the middle of the barn.
All time.
AK-47 from Do or Die. Do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Oh, you got Cleveland MCs? What about Kamuteo?
Cleveland MCs.
Kamu, copyright.
Dude, Suave.
Poly Rhymes.
Suave.
Suave? I don't think I know
Suave
Suave.
Gotti and Vigatron.
Okay, Poly Rhymes, put me on.
Poly Rhyme, yeah.
Put me on.
I think all-time favorite MCs. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vibes Cartel.
Okay.
That dude is.
All
I
right.
know
Who,
he's dance hall, but his lyrics, man, is just crazy to me.
Women coming
The
out in
rumpin'
rumpin' shop.
yeah, that song is mad toxic. But yeah.
Oh,
word. I used to-
the first
yeah.
line of that song is like, man to man, girl to girl, that's wrong.
Yeah, I used to work at a reggae dancehall club, and I didn't realize that I was shouting out all types of like anti-LGBTQ shit. Like, oh yeah, these fucking Bati boys. I don't know who they are, but they're going to fucking die tonight if they come in here. Like, oh, shout out to the Bati boys. Who do you think did better with their skin color, Sammy Sosa or Vibes Cartel? I think Sammy Sosa kind of looks like he's got that kind of pink, like newborn baby mouse look. I think Vibes is doing a little better with the skin bleaching.
Yeah, I wonder, I mean, at least
Yeah.
with Vibes, like, because he just put it out there, like he was just doing it just for the, I guess the gimmick of it,
Yeah.
like, and tying it into, young folks that are into that or whatnot. Yeah, Vibes.
Okay.
There's a Chronix who said, "Well, all of Jamaica bleach them skin, me nah follow nobody." It's like, yeah, all right, keep it
Jet's
natural.
dad is Jamaican.
I'm half
he's
Jamaican,
a Jamaican
so,
guy
yeah.
here. What's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal. Komodo dragon.
Hey, if you have any superpower, what would it be?
Invisibility, so he could just paint all day.
I would psionic kinetic mind burst.
Oh, okay. That's like a Psylocke thing. It was like, you shut a motherfucker down.
Like, the more energy you give me, the more energy it comes back.
Oh, shit. He took it. You like a big comic book head?
We used to play Champions back in the day.
Okay.
Instead of Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
So that's fun.
You got a favorite comic book character?
Brother Man.
Who?
Brother Man.
From you talking about from the Fifth Flow on Martin? Like who? Who's Brother Man?
Brother Man.
Is that like Milestone Comics?
No. Big City Comics.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
Philly.
I see I'm fucking up. My brother Diami's going to be disappointed. He know all the black superheroes.
You're going to love it.
Brother Man is actually not black, though. He's a white dude, right?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He's a
priest.
Like, got your ass. Yeah, right. He's Irish. He's just like, yeah, word. Brother Man. What do you like about Tokyo?
Ooh,
You've been here enough, yeah?
Fucking Tokyo's dope, man. Shit. Megapolis. Clean as fuck. Safe.
Yeah.
The design everywhere, the crossover between like design and nature really trips me out. Like I just saw a picture on Instagram somebody posted about like it was a desaturated black and white photo of Tokyo, some new picture or whatever, but so many comments were like, oh, there's no parks and stuff, and I'm like, man, there's so many parks, there's so much greenery. Of course, the trains, the people, I mean, I wish that people were a little more social, I guess, in a sense, I mean, it's like, how do you just like say hi to folks or whatnot? But maybe, I can't speak. I'm not fully fluent.
When you also have like a mega city like Tokyo or London, where I'm from, I've always felt like the people who are like most likely to just talk to you in the street always are like complete weirdos, or they have some kind of bad intention.
The guy that came up to us today asking for a lighter, 2 minutes before that, he was being escorted by a
very
fucking security or a cop.
physically being escorted out.
Had
by
him
a
by the
cop.
arm while he's dragging his luggage. Like, oh, got your ass. And I was like, damn, you too brown to be out here like that, bro. You moving like that in these streets, get caught up. And then he comes up and speaks to us in English, and we're
Well,
like, no, we don't smoke.
The one time this chick came up to me in Shibuya Crossing, some alarm bells were going off, but she was cute, so I like stayed in contact. And then she invited me to like a Kofuku no Kagaku Happy Science event. You guys know about Happy Science?
Wow.
Yeah,
Like the
nice
cult
little
out
cult,
here.
nice little Buddhist type of cult, like more closer to like Scientology type of cult.
Their whole thing, their leader died like a few months ago, Ryuho Okawa, and like his whole thing was just like, okay, so you see all the religions, right? They're all true, but they're under me. He was like, like Jesus, Allah, Buddha, fucking Krishna, like it's all me.
Bro, I saw like a shop for it, like a building for it in Okinawa, and I was like, Happy Science, that sounds interesting. Let me stop my little car here and go look to see what the fuck is going on with this. And then as soon as I got to the door, I was like, oh, it's a cult. All right, I'll see you guys later. But
They make mad anime too.
I wouldn't mind having like some Happy Science gear, just to kind of like rep it. Like, yeah, Happy Science gang, what's up? If you were on a desert island and there was 2 music artists that you could have their entire discography, including collaborations and all those type of things, what 2 artists would you pick to have with you on the island?
Prince.
Hey,
Yeah, good shout.
And
Vibes Cartel.
Vibes Cartel.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to turn up a little bit, you know. Otherwise, you'd be
Right.
just sad talking to your volleyball handprint. Like, damn, bro, you trying to turn up or what? All these body boys on the island got me fucked up. Yeah. If there was a dead artist that you can get another album from, which or a dead artist that you can get even more art from, at least like once, like who would you pick?
Well, I'm gonna say if it's music, Prince. If it's artwork, I'm gonna say Phase 2.
Okay. All you 80s cats is like my sisters. In fact, my sister Ruby is your same age. She's 12 years older than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Prince fan,
Oh,
like
man.
complete Prince fan.
I mean,
Like,
Prince is the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you can't.
That's the goat.
I saw Prince at the Staples Center in LA when I moved out there.
You might have been at
Amazing.
my sister might have been at the show because every time Prince came through, my sister Rolinda and my sister Ruby were there.
Man.
They went, you know, they still dress like Prince like on a Wednesday and shit. Like it's just time to put some purple on and shit today, you know what I mean? Yeah, my sisters are huge Prince fans.
That show was amazing.
I you know, there's always an argument between like Prince and Michael Jackson, right? And they always put them against each other. But to be honest with you, I don't think that musically Prince is incredible, but I don't think he holds a candle to the type of fandom in like
Prince is too
like, you know what I mean?
weird for that.
Too-
though.
yeah.
Like Prince is
Like,
someone
yeah.
who is widely respected outside of mainstream
and,
circles.
and-
as
yeah,
well,
and
because-
also he like fought the system.
yes,
You know,
Yeah,
he fought
yeah,
the system.
right
So
on.
a lot of that narrative of Prince was kind of actively impeded by the system, by the machine, by the music industry, because they're like, oh, he doesn't want to play ball. Like, well, we control this. Yeah. So
You know what? I'm gonna say another amazing show that I saw was Parliament Funkadelic. I saw the 20th anniversary of the Mothership Connection in New York. It was in '97.
Holy
like that.
shit.
That shit was amazing. Okay.
holy
so,
shit.
I know he's George Clinton's not gone, but I just wanted to plug that because
man.
that show was bananas.
He was out here before COVID, and I really wanted to go, but I don't have that type of money. The show out here was just like, well, it must have been like, you know, man, like $400
Yeah.
Wow.
to get into that bitch. And I was just like, I guess I'll wait for Chick Corea. And then Chick Corea came, and I didn't have the money for that either. And Chick Corea's gone, and now I don't even have but yeah, fucking
seen-
George Clinton.
Yeah, I've seen him a few times in Cleveland and one
Hell
time
yeah.
in Youngstown and that one time in New York. So
Hell yeah.
fucking amazing, dude.
What's your favorite color?
Chrome, dude.
Oh shit. Hell yeah.
Take that.
Hell yeah.
It reflects all colors.
Yeah,
So
no
I
doubt.
just love everything.
Oh, that's actually kind of fire. I'm gonna steal that for my kids. What's your favorite convenience store out here? Conveni.
I'm going to go with Lawson's because it's from Cleveland.
You're allowed to be wrong. That's okay.
Cleveland, yeah. That's actually third on the hierarchy of power, and potentially fourth, depending on how you feel about
got
soft
mini
cream
stuff
and mini solid.
Lawson's is from Cleveland.
Hey,
so when
it's
I
fucking-
grew up, that shit was in Cleveland.
No shit.
And
Yeah,
then-
it started
and
out in
now there's
no
no
shit.
all
no
over
Lawson's
Ohio.
in.
Now it's
Damn,
entirely
they got
Japanese
fucking-
now.
Yeah.
Yo, we used to have like Circle K. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore.
It's Family Mart now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Family Mart kills it.
What is your favorite form of water? That's a weird question, yeah. My question went from cold water or room temperature water to favorite form of water. If somebody asked me that, I'd be like, waterfall. You know what I mean? Waterfall.
Ice.
But, you know, yeah.
You know,
Just ice.
I like the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Been,
Waves.
dabbling with surfing and
Right.
boogie boarding
Salt
in LA.
water.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But you know, like I like the mountains and the rivers in Gifu. Nice clear waters. That's pretty fresh out there. And at home, I like it filtered. You know, like,
Yeah, you can't drink no tap.
can't drink no tap. Yes.
What's some shit you don't like?
Some shit I don't like.
Yeah, let's get a little hating on. You know, I like, people know me, I like to hate on shit, and I hate quite often. It's all love, but you know, it's also all hate sometimes. Like, what's something you don't like?
Something I
And I don't need you to get specific, like, yeah, I dislike capitalism, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what, like, you're an older cat, like the the times have changed. Gen X got gripes, millennials got gripes, even fucking Zoomers got gripes. You know, everybody, everybody's got gripes about. The Boomers got gripes. Like, what do they say? Grind your gears. Say no.
I'm gonna say the mindless violence in America right now.
Stay woke, y'all.
I
agree with it.
You know, I mean, I had some dudes run up on me earlier this year talking about they're gonna fuck me up.
Damn, just for
walking across the street. They just saw me
shit.
and was like, I'm fucking him up.
And
word. Running full, you know, full out at me.
Damn.
But the dude slipped on some shit in the street and bust his ass. Bow. And I'm like,
You should have said, God is on my side, and just started.
you know, I
Or
just
soccer
thought,
kicked him while he was lying down. And just run over. Just fucking
bam, bitch,
punt
to
him.
RZA.
Toe punt.
yeah, if
Goddamn.
it was like 15 years ago, I probably would have been that dude. But I was like, good for both of us. Let me get the fuck out of here. Keep my
Like
ass
20
walking.
years ago, I got robbed by like a 15, 13-year-old in Oakland for my fucking Razor flip phone. Like violence it's really weird to quantify and think about violence when you live in a place like Tokyo, because like the violence that we get sometimes it's like unruly. Like, damn, these motherfuckers is uncouth out here. But usually it's like some old guy who like tries to pull a knife on a convenience worker, or like a sex deal gone gross or wrong or some shit like that. We got sexual violence out here that's really gross, but we don't really have to worry about like, man, like I haven't thought, like when I was in California, I was just like, he might have a heat. He got a heat. He got a burner. He got a biscuit. He got a gun. And then if I go to Texas, I'm like, damn, like I won't road rage on anybody out here. I'm not trying to get shot. But yeah, out here, I'm just like, the other day I was walking by the cops. I was like, fuck y'all. Y'all trying to get the buskers out of here? He playing the guitar. Fuck y'all. Very publicly giving middle fingers to the cops as I move because I have the right to do that. You know what I mean? You could be an asshole. And I was just like, yeah, nigga, shit. Oh. But you know, like the violence in America is fucking super trash, man.
Yeah.
You guys took it institutional. I was gonna say I just don't like it when short people wear the big sneakers that make them look taller.
I used to feel the way about skinny jeans.
I only wear skinny jeans. I got skinny jeans on right now.
Yeah, but you like a model
Get
type of
some
shit.
man
Back in the day, I'd be like, damn, Jet, I don't like it. Make your feet look all big. I can see your kneecaps and shit. Like, I don't like. Your skinny jeans are also not so skinny that they look like
It's
tights.
not the sausage case.
It's not like, I didn't like that. I had some homies in California and shit, like my homie Mars, right? I was like, dog, I could see your whole dick imprint in your pants right now. Like, we're going to the damn Jollibee. Like, don't do this to me.
What's it Danny Brown said? Complain about my jeans because I'm taking all they hoes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Hey, DJ Assault, get some man pants.
you know, I'm glad that I was never a person to really ride like trends like that, because I go back and I look at the tall tee era of the 2000s. Like, I had some big ass Jinkos and shit like that back in the day. I had big ass Dickies and Ben Davis shirts. I was West Coasting for real. And you know, we dressed away. But when I look at like the 2000s, when cats was wearing the pajama, the tall tees and the sagging pants and shit, I'm just like, that shit looks absurd to me. And I hope that never comes back.
Right on.
Essentially, for the last 20 years, I've basically been dressing just about the same, except for now I don't show anybody my receding hairline. Like, I don't do my hair like that no more. But yeah, I feel okay.
Yeah, short kings. If you're short, just own it, man. It's cool. The coolest guy I know is like 5'4".
Who is the coolest guy? You know, I'm not 5'4". Who is this?
It's Ro Morikawa, of course.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Ro. All right, he is a little short dude, but he also Philly Negro, nigga Pino. I'll accept it. I'm fine with that one. Yeah, I'm fine with that one. Do we have any more random type of questions for Sano?
What we got?
What's your favorite animal? Oh, you said Komodo dragon. Who do you think wins, a gorilla or a grizzly bear? There's a correct answer, and I just want to hear what you think.
I would imagine a gorilla.
It's got to be the bear.
It's the bear.
I'm team
This
bear.
is guaranteed the bear.
Really?
Gorillas are really gentle creatures and shit. Bears are fucking built for it. They're bigger, they got claws, and they're fucking predators.
Did we say what kind of bear? Like
Grizzly.
grizzly.
Yeah, a brown bear getting fucked up by
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like a
But
little
like
black bear.
gorillas are just guys.
Polar bears. And
My
shit.
girl loves going to the zoo and stuff, and like every time I see any kind of ape, You always have the eye contact moment. You make eye contact with the ape, and it's like, oh fuck, you're just a guy.
Yeah. Every time I see a gorilla, I give him the head nod like I see the black dude on the fucking Yamanote line and shit. Yeah. I heard that every time that Shaq goes to the zoo, all the gorillas get like real interested in him and shit. Wow. I was like, oh word, yeah, Shaq, you a fucking giant human being. Wow. Shout out to Shaq. You got a favorite? Do you like sports? Are you a sports guy? Yeah, what kind of sports you into?
I mean, I watch basketball, some baseball.
Okay. You are definitely like a Gen Xer if you like baseball. Like that shit is not popular at all.
LeBron, the Shohei.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Shohei's. I mean, that's like.
We're in LA, dude.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What part of LA you stay in now?
Stay in Glendale. My art studio's in Chinatown, so it's
okay.
It's literally a 15-minute walk from my studio to Dodger Stadium.
When you say art studio, like what goes on there? Is it like you hold like you teach art? Do you have gallery work up?
Just a production space. It's I do screen printing. And it's just like, it's a space where I can work, do my paintings, illustration, graphics, whatever.
Okay. And, I've been wanting to get some of your shirts for a whole minute now.
Oh, yeah. We need to do that.
I'm just broke.
Link it up.
My nigga, I'm broke.
I mean,
it's super true. Like I like the biggest thing about me being broke is not paying for the price of the shirt, is that the shipping was like the price of the shirt. You know what I mean? So like I just kind of kept it low and haven't been buying anything from America or China or nowhere recently. Like the economy right now is not super dope, and also we're basically at the bottom of the Japanese caste system. Me and Jet. So me and Jet, we be out here limping and struggling and doing all types of shit. I wish I had an art studio, bro. I'll fucking print up a shirt easy. Mm-hmm. Did you link it with Keen? He does that shit out here too. He got the heat press shit and all that. Yeah, that's my dog.
We walked from Sanjaya.
Caught your ass slipping. Yeah. He walked from Sancha to fucking Chofu.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a length.
That's a 2-3 hour walk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a length. He caught your ass slipping. I would have just been like, nah, I'm gonna stay at the Denny's until first train, bro. Keen always be happy. Keen is a walker.
Yeah.
Keen is a walker. And Jet too.
Me too.
See,
man.
not me, bro. Y'all gonna have to. In fact, the night we was out, I was like, Sano, I'm out. Yeah, I know you just got here, but it's the last train. I got to be a part of real life. Yeah. No, I was fucking out.
Walking is the best thing about Tokyo. Like, even yesterday, I'm going to
disagree because I don't walk.
I walked down from my place in Meidai Setagaya down to, I walked down to like Seijo Gakuen, like down towards Kawasaki, like Noborito, like Mukuoka, like down that way. I was just looking in the book off, so I was trying to see if they had PlayStation 2 games, but like I'm all about the walking in Tokyo.
Yeah.
My biggest problem is, like I was telling y'all earlier, I got mad injuries, right? Mm-hmm. So I broke my foot BMXing in the aughts, and I didn't have no money to go to the thing, so I kind of just like limped it off, and my feet were never the same. Then I had plantar fasciitis like crazy, which spread up all up in my back and shit, and then later I got into a car accident that messed up my neck. So for me, walking is trash, and I'm not the type of person. I don't got the orthopedic shoes. I'm still too. I'm telling you, they got me caught up with all this black shit, bro. Like I'm still on Jordan. I wear Jordan 1s, and the technology is from the 80s, bro. It's just a flat rubber. I might have traction on the basketball court, but I don't need traction on the Yamanote line. I need arch support, and I don't have none of that. And that's why you never going to catch. You would like if Jet was like, yo, you want to walk from Shinjuku to your house? I'd be like, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you at the crib. Because I just don't like, if I walk for an hour, the next day I'm walking like, I'm walking like my feet.
You said you were going to do that the other day. You were like, oh, maybe I'll walk home from Shinjuku. And I was like, no, you won't.
Yeah. I thought if you wanted to stay out that night, I would have just stayed out the whole night.
That's a 2 hour
But I was
walk.
going to lie. Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm getting Bike Tyson ready. The bike is going to be ready. I'm going to do, like, I don't mind biking in the cold. I'm going to do more biking, but I cannot walk.
Yeah.
But yeah, King caught your ass slipping. He was like, man, my legs are jelly today. I was like, yeah, you walked. You made the pilgrimage to Mecca.
Me and Keen have a mutual homie in LA.
Oh, no shit.
Like real close. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold us down. DJ Tetris, man. That's the dude.
Okay.
So
Keen's an OG.
Yeah.
Keen's an OG from out there, like a real OG.
And I'm telling you, like the homie Tet held me down in LA. That dude's number one.
Okay. Shout out.
He's a dope DJ and a dope person.
I knew you would get along real well with Keen for sure. Yeah.
And that Tetris is our homie. our mutual homie. Like
That just
Tet
that means
was- yeah.
there's a cosign
Yeah.
immediately.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
hold on to my wallet for me. I'll be back. Type of.
Yeah,
There's no
like,
problems. Yeah.
yeah.
Keen is that dude too, man. He's. I met Keen in the bathroom. At a Daddy Kev fucking low end theory show, and
shit.
we was in the bathroom. We was just minding our business, taking a piss, and I heard some like weird language.
Wow.
Not, I don't mean to be call it weird, but I heard some language that I never heard before, and it was coming from some white dude. And I was like, "Excuse me, bro, like I don't mean to, you know what I mean, call you out. What language are you speaking?" And I think it was like Lithuanian or like some shit that I wasn't as an American. I didn't know where it was on a map type of shit. And I was like, okay. And Keen was like, yeah, that fool's fucking voice was weird. And I was like, word, what up, fool? And then Daddy Kev came in, and we were like, yo, you're fucking Daddy Kev. Me and Keen started exchanging like, yeah, we heard you back in the day. And that's how I met Keen. And then that's maybe like 7-8 years ago or some shit. But Keen is an OG. For the people that don't know, he's a videographer and an artist. He gave a lot of the video footage for the Good Life Cafe documentary that Ava DuVernay put out, the great Ava DuVernay, before she kind of blew up. He gave a lot of the footage to her, so he's in the credits for that. And Keen, he is like, the way that I talk to you, like I don't know graffiti culture. Me and Keen are from that underground West Coast culture that we kind of just know that, and that's how me and Keen connected. But I won't get too much more into it. Sano, is there a place where you would like people to connect with you, or something that you like people to know to go look for about your art in your work, or like, you know, social media type of shit?
Instagram,
okay. SanoIZM.
IG, yeah, SanoIZM, SanoIZM, SanoIZM.
You know it's hip hop if it's spelled wrong.
Well, the Z is actually tribute to Ram LZ, actually.
See, you know it's hip hop if it's homage. Come on, figure it out. Hey, bro. You're amazing, Sano, man. Like, live 1,000 years. I really appreciate you coming through, rocking with us. I feel privileged to be able to call you a homie, to call you, you know, a peer, an OG, somebody that has, like, just tremendously inspirational. And yeah, man, every time you come back, you know, let's get up. It's easy. Definitely. It's fucking easy. If you got anybody coming out here that you think would be good for the show, or just want to, you know, link me with, like, yeah, let me know.
Right on.
All of his information is in the bio. You guys know me and Jed, Secret House Against. We appreciate y'all. Patreon's on the screen, even though this ain't Secret House. Patreon's on the
Secret House,
screen.
Mega Late Show, whatever.
Yo,
you're in the channel.
Straight
you know
up
the vibe.
and down. Love y'all. A little bit. Hell yeah. That went a little longer than I expected, but I was just happy talking, man. Appreciate y'all. Hell yeah. Appreciate you. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You said you got a link up with somebody? I didn't want to hold you and shit. Like, it's already 7. We can walk with you to the station or whatever. Hello. Hey, my love. Sano is here. You know Sano better than I do, apparently.